local reservoir, that state system reservoir, which the president-elect was referring to.
Why did you say all the reservoirs were full? And then when you're hit with the facts of one of the major reservoirs being completely empty, well, that's why I'm calling for investigations. And that's not a state reservoir. I'm going to pass the buck. Please don't blame me. It's not my fault, even though.
Ana Kasparian rips Gavin Newsom and other Democrat California leadership over their handling and lack of prevention for the LA wildfires. Let's see what Ana Kasparian had to say.
I am the governor of this state. That's who Gavin Newsom is. In every single interview that he has done amid these wildfires, if you listen carefully, all he does is look for other people to blame. Oh, it's the city government. Oh, it wasn't the state government. No. You're the top dog, politically speaking, in the state of California, and he has failed the people of California, not just in regard to the current wildfires, but he has consistently failed the people of California in response to these wildfires, the aftermath of the wildfires. I mean, just take a look at what happened in Paradise, California. Okay, the so-called Camp Fire, which absolutely destroyed that community, robbed people of their homes as a result of PG&E, one of the electrical utilities here in this country, in this state. He bailed them out. I mean, this is who Gavin Newsom is. And I have a lot more to get to, but Cenk, I want to give you an opportunity to weigh in.
Before we get to Cenk's big brain takeover here, Ana Kasparian's absolutely correct. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, you would know that I am a California citizen. I live in California, and Gavin Newsom is absolutely terrible. And I know nobody who likes this dude. I don't know how he beat the recall, that when we try to recall him. I don't know who voted for this dude. I don't know anybody that likes him. But Ana Kasparian's acting like Gavin Newsom passing the buck is something new. He's always done that. If you haven't heard, there's this classic story where Gavin Newsom went to a store, like he went to Target, and he was being checked out, right? He's being rung up. And some people stole stuff from the self-checkout line without paying. And so Gavin Newsom was like, hey, how come I have to pay when that guy could just steal stuff? Where's the manager here? And the clerk was like, well, it's California law, because the clerk didn't know it was Gavin Newsom. So he was like, yeah, well, that's just California for the laws here. They allow for this stuff pretty much. There's nothing we could really do. And Newsom was like, what? Well, I'm the governor. And the guy was like, oh, and then, whatever. And Newsom's like, no, it's the manager's fault. We need the manager here. Trying to pass the buck again. Like, even if you got the manager there, what can the manager do due to the California laws? If you're enjoying content like this, subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell, smash that like button. Let's continue.
Yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to finding out what caused these fires. And it might be a couple of different reasons. We don't really know. But if it's PG&E again, then I'm going to be furious because Gavin Newsom took $10 million from them and then has not forced them to bury their wires. And their wires that are hanging above us all are kind of like a Damocles sword hanging over all of our heads in California, just so that Gavin Newsom can collect more campaign donations from PG&E. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. And then to your point, Anna, why did you say that you're ordering an investigation because the reservoir was not filled for the Pacific Palisades? But like literally 15 seconds ago, you said that all the reservoirs were filled. Both of those things can't be true at the same time. And I don't mean that as, hey, maybe you might have did a slip up on the reservoir not being full, but you just explained 15 seconds later that it was so important to you that you ordered an independent investigation, including of yourself, that it's hard for me to believe that you forgot that when he asked you the first time around.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So look, I think Karen Bass has a lot of explaining to do in LA. And I think that, yeah, and the Santa Ynez reservoir is more of a local issue than a state issue. But I think that overall, your point about Gavin deflecting, well, he's done it literally in every interview. And in this case, I want you guys to understand the trick that he's doing, because he's doing one of these investigations is a great way to punt.
Yes.
And avoid responsibility when everyone is paying attention. When that report comes out, even if it's a scathing report, it'll come out 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 3 months, however long it takes. And by that point, people will have moved on to some degree, right? And Gavin gets to pick the people doing the independent investigation. And then, even if it comes out against him, by that point, the energy has dissipated. And he knows that. But Anna, I gotta say one thing. Look, Democrats usually, unfortunately, over the last, I don't know, couple of decades, I guess at least post-Obama, right? Have had two problems. One is they don't deliver on policy, and two is just terrible on messaging and politics and strategy. At least Gavin Newsom is slick enough that he knows how to deflect. So he does it really professionally. If you're not paying attention and you just saw that on MSNBC, I think that a lot of those Democratic voters are going to think, oh, Gavin's on top of this, man. He's nailing this. And I know that that's what drives you even more crazy, okay? But he's at least adept at pretending he's doing something while doing nothing.
We don't need an investigation.
Well, at least Cenk was right about some things in that whole clip. I still think he kind of ruins it. Like, Anna is calling out the things that need to be called out, and Cenk always tries to deflect to like, well, he always tries to make it about the government and corporations, which, I mean, yeah, there's corruption there. Not saying there's not, but the start of these fires weren't PG&E wires or whatever it is. It was because of an illegal immigrant. Well, from what I heard anyway, someone was arrested and it was an illegal immigrant and they started the fires. But it was people starting fires. And Newsom and other people that should be doing a better job of forest management and the water reservoir and all these things, not being well prepared because of their freaking woke policies to combat arson. But where Cenk is correct, though, is that Gavin Newsom is slick. Like, he is like Weasley. He's like a really scummy dude, but he's not dumb. Like, he does know how to. That's why I say Gavin Newsom is a good politician, and I don't mean that in a positive way. It's like saying someone's a good lawyer. Like, well, I don't necessarily mean that in a positive way, necessarily. He does know how to politic, and he does know how to deflect. And yes, and he does know that once this investigation concludes, it'll already be a few months. Like, he knows all of these things. So Cenk is right about that. What do you guys think about this so far? Sound off on the comment section below. Let's continue.
We don't need an investigation because we know exactly what happened with that empty reservoir. And the reason why that reservoir was empty is because of the fact that it needed repairs to a floating cover so debris doesn't get into the water. And it's been empty for nearly a year. Why has it been empty for a year? Well, because constructing anything, building anything in this state, thanks to the environmental activists, or I should say, thanks to the individuals in this state who use environmentalism as this shield in order to pass regulations to make it incredibly difficult to build anything, including housing, right? They've succeeded at that. So to build anything, whether it's a reservoir, whether it's a repair to a reservoir, whether it's building a house, whether it's building anything, becomes incredibly expensive, becomes incredibly difficult to do, takes years on end. The last reservoir that was built in the state of California was built in the year, it was completed in the year 2000. Groundbreaking on that reservoir began in 1995. Explain to me how the fifth largest economy globally, the state of California, has that much difficulty building a reservoir. 5 years? Last one again was finished, completed in the year 2000. In 2014, voters in California overwhelmingly supported a ballot measure to support building more reservoirs in the state in order to bulk up our water infrastructure because we live in a drought-prone state. That passed in 2014. Funding was attached to it. You want to know how many reservoirs have been built since 2014? Zero. This state is an utter joke because of the people who are governing it. Gavin Newsom right now is at the top of that list. Let's get back to the Santa Ynez Reservoir. So officials said that the Santa Ynez Reservoir had been closed since about February of last year, 2024, okay? For repairs to its cover, leaving a 117 million gallon water storage complex empty in the heart of the Pacific Palisades for nearly a year. Unacceptable. So why hasn't it been repaired? Like, what's going on? Well, the city began emptying the reservoir in February of last year due to this tear in the floating cover. They were worried about debris getting into the water. Totally understand that. The repair would have taken a week, but it didn't take a week. It never got done because repairing anything in this damn state is impossible. Okay, so then we hear about the upcoming wins. Look, we were not surprised by this. I want people to not make the mistake of drinking the Democratic Party's Kool-Aid on this, because we were getting reports about the intense Santa Ana winds and the upcoming fire weather almost a week in advance. I knew about the fire winds and all of that the Friday before the fires started on Tuesday. Now I bring that up because there was nothing wrong with the actual structure of that Santa Ynez reservoir. It was just the floating cover that had issues. So if I were the mayor of Los Angeles, knowing that these winds are coming, knowing that those winds could create a terrible, hazardous wildfire situation, I would hurry up and fill that reservoir. Not really concerned about the debris getting into that reservoir, because we might need that reservoir specifically to fight fires. She didn't do that though, did she, Cenk? She knew about the winds. She knew they were coming. And what did she do? She went on a taxpayer-funded trip. Us Angelinos paid for her to travel abroad to Ghana, okay? For what? For something important that's going to benefit the people of Los Angeles? No, to watch their incoming president get inaugurated.
Yeah.
You are the mayor of a major city. You're not a diplomat. You're not an ambassador. What the F are you doing in Ghana?
Yeah.
Why were you not here preparing for a potential disastrous wildfire? The fact that she went to Ghana, Cenk, isn't just about the waste in taxpayer money. It isn't just about her absence. It's about the fact that it shows that she underestimated what was about to come. She didn't have the foresight because she doesn't care. That's the issue here.
Yeah. 100. You know, we pay like some of the highest taxes here in the United States. Like we shell out so much money in the state for everything. Even our freaking electricity rates have gone up recently. I'm like, why is my freaking bill so much higher? I'm not like using any much more electricity than usual, but it's gone up, and it's because of freaking California policies. California allowed the electric companies to, like, I don't know, put in this fee or something like that. I don't know, but it's caused the electricity bills to go up, and it's horrible. They just see us as just cash cows, milking us dry pretty much. I've told the story about how, you know, they wanted the electric car policy, but now they're not making enough on their gas tax. So now they want to charge us by the mile. They just see us as cash cows, and we have nothing to show for it. High homelessness is still here. What are we paying for? We're paying for these corrupt Democrat politicians. I hope more people wake up because of this, because they need to be woken up, especially here in California. Like, it's not, people think California is a lost cause. I can assure you, we are not a lost cause. There's a lot of people here who are sick and tired of the Democrat leadership. It's just that we're getting there, but we're not there yet. But we are getting there where we're having enough of it, and we're going to vote these people out. And I think these wildfires really expose this Democrat leadership. People aren't going to forget this, especially when they no longer have homes because of these fires. Ana Kasparian, absolutely 100% correct. But what did you guys think about what she had to say? Sound off in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy content like this. Click that notification bell. And if you did enjoy today's clip, I got more Young Turks, Ana Kasparian stuff, and much more on my channel for you to click on and enjoy.